Yeah, that's pretty much all that was a, well, we told you Lobo was coming. Jason Momoa is Lobo. Everybody loves Jason Momoa. We know it's going to be fun. Here you go. This is your first look at Lobo.
Welcome everybody to Blerdlines. This is your man Cam. With me as always is
defeated Bronco fan Cam 2. Hi.
as well as
not defeated Manchester United fan, aka the Cookie Monster.
And bringing up the rear as always.
Well, no dog in the fight in football, but I am the professor. And I will say I am liking that the Broncos lost just because of what it's doing to Cam right now. I see that look on
wow.
And I'm enjoying that.
So you know what? Hold on. Pause. Time out. So not only my Broncos lost.
Here we go.
One of my Chelsea players defected to this man's team, Man.
Oh, wow.
So I'm having a double dose. The only thing
that is a double whammy.
Well, the only thing that's gonna make this right is the Lakers win, and then I can get belligerent. But
it's about to be on and popping.
In that case, we'll realign if the Lakers win.
We got Michael Carrick. Who has righted the ship in 2 games, and we stole one of your dudes. I am satisfied.
So random.
However, I do mourn alongside you because I really did want the Pats to lose today. As far as the Broncos are concerned,
it's good. Well, the highs and lows of sports. You know, this is the game. The game is the game.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we're back. Besides sports talk, randomly I was having out with one of my friends that's a Crystal Palace fan. He's the only Crystal Palace fan I know in my entire life for some strange, odd reason. But anyway,
is he British?
No, I don't even know. I'll even know how. But anyway, talking about football talk, both footballs. But while we're here, we are here because the man James Gunn has dropped another teaser. Just to, let cats out the bag that everybody already knew, but furthering to show that, he might know what he's doing. So we're going to check out the trailer real quick. It's real simple. It's real short, but it's brand new. So let's see what's happening.
And which movie is this for?
Oh yeah. Good job. Let me start that over. And we are back with James Gunn's Supergirl. He isn't directing, but he has his paw prints all over it. They dropped another 30-second teaser trailer, and we're gonna check it out. So let's see it.
Oh. For you guys.
What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Kurton didn't die in a day. Gods are not that kind.
Oh, he's such a...
Yeah, that was about, 30 seconds?
Yeah, you had 2 extra seconds of Lobo, make everyone go crazy. Smart. Very smart.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that was a, well, we told you Lobo was coming. Jason Momoa is Lobo. Everybody loves Jason Momoa. We know it's going to be fun. Here you go. This is your first look at Lobo. It doesn't look as polished as I'm sure the final render and will be, but It looks as much as you would imagine Jason Momoa and Lobo in the live action setting, because Lobo is as much intimidating. No, he's as much a goofball as he is intimidating. Right. So he does instill that intimidation based on his physical stature and his abilities and all that stuff. But he's a person that, just like when we see how Supergirl reacts to him when he shows up, the heroes are typically not like, oh, wow, this is the end times, or, I'm about to have a struggle. They're just kind of like, oh, Here this guy goes. Here's Lobo, and they can't do anything about him because he is so strong and so So that's what makes it good. And I think we'll see what happens in the movie. This doesn't tell us much more, so I think the temperament is the same. But if they unleash him in a good script, it's going to be a pretty fun thing to see, because there has been a live action Lobo in the Krypton TV series from a few years ago, in the season 2, and that actor did quite a pretty serviceable job. I enjoyed his performance as Lobo, but I'm more so looking forward to this one than any other performance.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think also too, I think also the big thing for this particularly is like again, we talked about it before, where it's like when actors really enjoy playing roles and like to be like, they like it, they're enjoying it and they're in it. And I think this is one of those things where like Momoa knows like, okay, let me knock this out the park, because if it does, that means I get another 3 movies. And so I can see that happening as well. And it also goes to the fan service for the fans. Lobo is a very fun character that a lot of people in DC, and this is like the hardcore DC fans, I only watch cartoons like Young Justice and Justice League Unlimited, to like, the Krypton fans too. So Lobo's a very interesting character because he has different types of fans from different types of media. And I think this will help with going overall, and with someone like a Momoa that's attached to it that really enjoys the character and knows that it's that kind of a thing. You have kind of like a lightning in a bottle chance, similar to what Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool at that time too, of like just really capturing that little thing, and we'll see what happens with it. So I mean, hey man, again, this could work. Josh, you can say him?
Yeah, Momoa is just having the time of his life. I feel like everything that I've seen him in, even I forget what commercial he's doing right now, where he plays multiple people, but he's just having the time of his life. You can tell that he's just enjoying his career and making choices that sort of emulate his ability to be able to just have fun with whatever he's doing. That last Fast and Furious movie is just one of the most absurd things known to mankind. But he was the single most enjoyable thing about that movie, and he just looked like he was having a blast being just the most over-the-top, ridiculous villain in a movie probably ever. Or in recent memory. I'm not speaking absolutes. But overall, and what's funny is if you compare this as a teaser against the 5 Marvel teasers we've gotten so far.
Are we
much more effective, huh?
Are we letting our personal bias come into play here, or is this?
Hell no, because I'm a Marvel guy. So no, we're not. No,
he's a Marvel guy.
Zero bias. There is zero bias. If anything, this is like bizarro bias, because I would want Marvel's teasers and trailers to be, and everything else to be better, and it's totally not. So yeah, I'm just saying, you're gonna do a teaser. This is how you do a teaser. You don't have to give away all the details. Just show us the world and, give us 1 or 2 things to sort of sink our teeth into, which they did. Boxes checked.
Yeah.
So,
And point of correction, the Marvel trailer teasers are not teasers. They are stories.
Stories for a script that hasn't even been finished. Yeah, okay. Results. We know
Cam,
how well you guys tell stories.
Cam, what you got?
I feel like we, as a collective, put that energy into the atmosphere a couple pods back about wanting Lobo on the big screen. I would like for us to take some credit.
And by we you mean you.
I'm with one equals many. So
hey,
I do remember this. I'll give him credit because he's had a pretty bad day. So I'm going to go ahead and give him
I'm giving everybody credit.
Just saying, you deserve a win today, bro.
You deserve to, because you did acknowledge and talk about earlier.
You called it.
That
you called it, and you were like,
yeah.
Yeah, you called it, and you were like trash talking, calling it. Like you were all up in the screen like this on some, what's good?
It had to happen.
Take the victory lap. Take the victory lap.
And then it happened shortly after you did that.
Yeah.
They announced that he was cast. He announced that he had been cast as Lobo. So definitely take that victory.
I also find it funny, Josh, when you said he's living his best life. You should be living your best life. You were married to Lisa Bonet for some time, bro. So if you're not happy after marrying Lisa Bonet,
2 kids,
aka
2. They got 2 kids.
Denise Huxtable. Well, then that's a you problem, brother. So
Yeah.
and so even if you didn't get this Lobo, if you didn't have these scripts coming your way, you were already winning, and you're cool with the baby dad at the time. So whatever, man. Like look, Jason Momoa.
Him and what's his name? God,
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz. I don't know why I forgot his name. Him and Lenny Kravitz chilling, hanging out, talking about how cool they are with the whole situation.
Okay, so
he's had a good life.
Back to the trailer. Cool, 30 minutes. I don't know what's going on, but it's enough to
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I don't know what's going on, but it's enough to keep me intrigued. I want to see how they do with Lobo, the character, how they implement him. I think one thing I want them to try to do is when he's first introduced into the scene is to speak an alien language and then use a translator. I think that was cool when I used to see it in the comic.
And Young Justice.
Yeah, Justice.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they do
I think
that
was the only time they did that, which I also agree that it was really cool. Because I like that in general, just that idea that they would not speak English or any language.
He speaks many languages.
Yes.
And so when he comes on the set, have him speak some weird alien language and then correct himself with a translator. And then you get this goofball, my main man type stuff. So I think that's cool. I don't know about Supergirl. I'm curious how that's going to play out. That's just my own reservations. I like the actor and other stuff, but I don't know. Maybe, I said this about Robert Downey Jr. and it turned out to be very good. So hopefully we have the same.
Wait, you had reservations about Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man?
I wasn't my Iron Man in the beginning. It just wasn't my Iron Man.
Really?
I can see that. I mean, at the time, a lot of people had reservations about him. He was just coming.
Was I the only person who gave that an immediate thumbs up?
Perhaps, but I think a lot of people. He hadn't been in anything big at that.
He came out of rehab actually. I think,
and he was
fresh out of
rehab.
I think Kiss Bang Bang was the other thing that he did before that.
And it wasn't the off-screen stuff. It was just I didn't see him as Iron Man. Like all the characters I've seen him play, I just didn't see him as Tony Stark. I just didn't see him as a Tony Stark. But he's a different. Yeah. So I mean that's just me.
It's fair. I just wow. Okay.
I think Millie Alcock is a little different though, because she kind of looks like Cara Zor-El snatched off the page. If I'm just being honest, like there is no.
Very much.
The only other actress that looks like that was in the role was Helen Slater. That just looks like Cara, one of the iterations of Cara Zor-El pulled off the page. Oh, and the TV actress Melissa Benoist. She looked a lot like.
She looked the part. Yeah.
Look the part. But I can see, we'll see. I think this is one of those things where it's coming down to the writing and the story that they choose to tell. We did have a couple new nuggets, as Josh pointed out, the dialogue about Krypton not dying in a day and the character asking her, what does it feel like to lose everything in a day? And she's mentioning the gods are not that, I think it's interesting that she used that terminology. The gods are not that kind to kill.
Can I add a point?
Because Krypton, I was going to say real quick, because Krypton's destruction has many iterations, and that's why I think that it's interesting that she used that phrase. But anyway,
to piggyback on that, and this goes back to Superman, James Gunn's Superman. Where the Kryptons are not so empathetic, where Millie Alcock, how you pronounce it? Alcock's character may have changed the perspective of how we look at Kryptonians from her point of view. Because the twist in Guns, how the Kryptonians were there to basically do a Vitramite, take over the world in that iteration of Krypton. Whereas Millie Alcock's character is like, hey, we were suffering and it would have been easier for us to just get wiped out so we didn't have to go through some long-winded suffering and whatever persecution by whatever entity out there. So I'm going to be looking, these are two different how are we going to be looking at the Kryptonians from Alcock's point of view or Clark Kent's point of view?
I will say that I think the framing of Clark's parents of the L's is slightly off there, because I think when you listen to what they say, it's not the same as the Viltrumite, go take over the planet. It's saying you'll be safe here, that if these people threaten you, then you might have to do that, and you can do it, and they can't, and they won't be able to stop you. And if that happens, then you do this and you do that and things like that. So, but to your point, that's a different philosophy or way of thinking entirely. But I look at it as it kind of aligning with what she's saying in terms of, maybe there was something going on. Perhaps the Kryptonians themselves were doing things that caused this. But yeah, that's not to say that what you're saying is
I hear what you're saying.
But I think it was a little more nuanced than just go take over. It was more like, go, you'll be safe there. You can help them, but they could react because they are in terms of us, they're more primitive. So they might react violently. And if that happens, then you unleash.
and let me say this.
Well, without cutting you off, if I remember correctly, what I thought the message was that Jor-El and Lara sent him to Earth with instructions to conquer the planet and establish a new Kryptonian empire. There was no ambiguity about if this or that, as I remember it.
That's what I took.
Am I wrong?
I'll have to watch it again, but I don't remember it saying establish a new Kryptonian empire. I don't remember that, but I could be wrong. Let
me ask, put this out there too. Now, D'Angelo, if you say what is true, we know based off Clark Kent's pure character, he will never do that. He will never hit the red button. However, Millie Alcock's character of Supergirl may do that because she sees the truth. So it's different parallels where, for me, I'm looking at how I perceive the message from his Kryptonian parents saying take over, but I know Superman won't do that. Whereas Supergirl is going through something really rough and we're going to be empathetic, but she might hit the red button knowing this is the best outcome and thinking and seeing the truth. It's just two different dynamics with two different circumstances. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah,
and I think considering, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
Yeah, they explored that in the Adventures of Superman, where in the second season, it's animated. They explored where Kara is actually quote unquote evil, and the reason why she's evil is a whole situation. But they kind of like the big bad at that time basically taps into her Kryptonian situation, and so she looks at humans more as something to be subjugated, not necessarily whatever. So you're right. I think she has a little bit more of the flip side of it could go wrong at any wrong moment than Superman would, because Superman's a straight altruistic Boy Scout. So I could see that more than anything else. What are you gonna say?
He's altruistic based on his trappings of him being raised by Midwestern farmers. But that's always been a path for her character. Even in Young Justice, before it was cut, they were going to go with the storyline that she was caught, that at some point during her transit from the exploding Krypton and into Earth, she was captured by Granny and taken to the orphanage and trained as a Fury. And so, again, given that the first chapter is Gods and Monsters, I don't know, and we're going to get the Mr. Miracle show coming up, it's possible that there could be a building towards the dark side, new gods, even if they are not going to pull the trigger and Darkseid won't be the main threat. Because I'm thinking that for this, Brainiac will probably be the likely main threat, and it's likely that Brainiac will be responsible for Krypton, like in some of the for Krypton's destruction, like in some of the origin stories.
So real
I
quick,
can see that. It'd probably be Brainiac. Oh, go ahead, Brainiac or Granny Goodness. I can see those.
so okay,
ahead,
so two things. One, if I remember correctly, in the trailer, in the teaser rather, there's a chunk of Krypton being lifted off the planet, which I'm almost 100% sure, without them confirming it, is Brainiac snatching up a portion of snatching up Kandor for part of his collection. I'm almost 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
Two, to pivot back to the message that he got from his parents, Jor-El states Earth's people are, quote, simple and profoundly confused, weak of mind and spirit, mind, spirit, and body. And the last line, jumping to the last bit of it, Jor-El commands Kal-El to lord over the planet as the last son of Krypton. And then Lara follows up with a line that says, "Dispatch of anyone unable or unwilling to serve you. Take as many lives as you can for the survival of Krypton's legacy." Basically,
okay. So right, so
is, do us proud, rule without mercy.
Yeah, so there you go. Again, we'll see where that goes. I'm not entirely convinced that that's exactly what that message will be eventually revealed to be. I think that there's more to that because there's been times where they've appeared more imperialistic, but that last part seems way out of
that's way off the reservation for most interpretations of Lara and Jor-El.
Now, like that is, to Cam's point, very Viltrumite-ish, and not Kryptonian. But thanks for correcting that, because one of the things I think that you see in that message is that they are afraid, but they talk about humanity as being, again, primitive, because he's not wrong. I think that's probably why I interpreted the message as not conquest and more like, yeah, you probably would need to subjugate humans because they will react very stupidly to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably where that came from.
Yeah, and so I think overall, like, it's going to be a fun thing. I'm like I said, with what we already seen of Supergirl, and we already know they're using bits of Woman of Tomorrow and other parts of the lore. And then now that we've gotten Lobo, it keeps marching in the direction that we like, that we're interested in. And so even Cam, where he's like, I don't really care about Supergirl, but it looks interesting enough to pique my interest. And I think that's what it's supposed to do. Where we've been, in contrast, we've been seeing these Marvel stories, and they've been pretty just So, but before we go on a longer tangent on all DC stuff, we'll leave it there. Once again, I think we are excited to see Supergirl. Every time they get a little bit of nuggets, it's getting super interesting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, tell a friend, all the things. And this is Blerdlines, and we out. Peace.